grab your snacks and relax. Let's see what Katie will show us today. Grab your controller, let's go on a ride. What will digital world provide? The adventure is front of us, a world of fantasy for you and for me. Subscribe and leave a comment. Whoa, for all the great content. Hit that like and share the vibe. Together as one, we'll thrive. Subscribe and leave a comment. Whoa, for all the great content. Hit that like and share the vibe. Together as one, we'll thrive. Let's keep the inspiration alive.
Well, hello, my fellow gamers. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day wherever you are in this incredible world of ours. If you're new to my channel, hello, I am Creative Katie, aka Katie, and if you're returning, welcome back, guys. I'm so excited you guys are all here. Today we're jumping into PalWorld. This has been a game that I have been playing since the release of this back in January 2024? I can't remember, but I have been playing this since then, but mostly I've been working on a game that I collaborate with my husband on. So my own personal game is a little bit behind, and I've been really working towards bringing that up to speed so that way I can start doing base builds and showing you guys some really cool ideas that I have for my bases, but I'm just not there yet. I'm still too low of a level to be able to do a lot of, well, I can do buildings and stuff like that, but the plans and the designs that I want to do for each of my bases is very what I can do is very minimal. And so I've been grinding away, but I did want to show you guys what I've been working on and show you where I'm at, what I'm thinking about doing, and then eventually kind of show you where I'm going to have things and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get into the game real quick. And actually, I'm going to adjust my camera here because I realize that it looks a little weird right now. So, there's a lot of things that my game with my husband has that this one does not. Like, there's a lot of pals that I still need to catch within this, my own personal game, but it's something that I'm definitely working towards. So, one of the things that I wanted to do is just kind of show you each of my bases, what I've been working on, and then kind of go from there. Now, I know we've dropped into this base, but it's not the first base that I want to show you guys. So we're going to go to my industrial base. So this first base is the one that focuses on gathering resources, going to be the one that has all the assembly lines and things of that nature. So that's what this base is all about. It typically has ore nodes and things of that nature, but right now it does not. Just to kind of show you on the map where we are, this is 191 negative 37. So this is the prime location for the ore nodes and the stones and things like that. It's, if you're familiar with PalWorld or you've looked up like the best places to find bases, this is one of those, because it's going to give you a lot of great resources that you'll eventually get mining stuff for those resources eventually, but this is a great one if you don't have those unlocked yet. But anyway, like I said, this is my industrial one. So the focus of this base is gathering resources to support all of the other bases. This first level is all about the pals themselves. So we got all these beds. Eventually I'm going to put in some mows, which are like an Egyptian cat kind of thing. And one of the things that they do in this ranch is harvest coins. So money, basically. So I'm going to put them in there. Just haven't gotten enough of them yet to be able to do that. So yeah, that's one of the goals for this one. Let me double check to see where we're at for these. I always have to make sure to set these two to work. That's the one drawback to this, is that you always have to set up the workload. Or set up tasks to be completed. So anyway, having them do that. And one of the things that I try to do with each of my bases is have them be a little self-efficient. So each one is going to have a lettuce and tomato plantation, because those are the resources for salads. And salads are one of the, I think one of the better food items that you can produce in your bases to keep the sanity levels of your pals stable. So the second level is all the industrial stuff. So we've got our gotta remember which ones are which. Oh, this is the weapons bench. It's always hard to remember exactly. This is the sphere bench, which is awesome that they got those done. We're gonna work on the next round here. We don't need that, maybe 100. There we go. And then this is just the regular assembly line bench. So this covers almost everything else. So I just upgraded all of those. And then over here we have the medicine area. I set up a little cabinet here, so that way if any pals end up getting injured on the job, they can come over and get those resources without me needing to help them. The next level, there's not anything up there yet, but I've thought about different things to put up there. I thought of maybe the viewing cages, so that way I can start compiling pals to be able to use in the condenser at some point when I get the pals that I want to use. But I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. So not much in regards to stuff going on around on this base, but it's not meant to be aesthetic, it's meant to be productive. And so that's the main focus. Every single base that I have has a focus and a purpose. So we're going to move on to my next base here. This is my canyon cliff base. This is going to be a very aesthetic base. So the pals that are going to be working in here are going to be very small, lower medium to small range, and basically the feel of this is supposed to be kind of a village within the canyons and the rocks here. So started working on this. My biggest drawback to this base so far is the inability to put walls into the rock. That's the biggest drawback right now. So crafters or creators, developers of PalWorld, it would be awesome if you could actually take a wall here and be able to put it into the not connected to a structure, I know, be able to put it into the rock face, because I mean in real life you're able to do that, but can't do it here. So anyway, this has been kind of a fun build for me because it's pushed me to think outside the box, think creatively, and think of how I can make this base work with the surrounding area. Over here we have all of the food plots and things of that nature. And again, all of these are supposed to be self-efficient, so that way this base can support itself. We're gonna do this, and those are all set up to transport, which is awesome. So, but yeah, this is like I said, a really fun base that I'm building on. I'm hoping to continue to build up and make this really feel like a hop-in city or village that is just kind of nestled in here. Each of these will be like little huts or houses, and then the area below this will house all the pals. It doesn't necessarily have a purpose to be functional, more for the anesthetic purposes of working with the landscape and the area that is around it. But yeah, this has been a really, really fun build for me. Just because it's helped me think outside the box and really think about how I can make this all work, especially with the limitations of building that we have in the game. One of them, as I mentioned before, the inability to build walls into rock formations. But yeah, this is a super fun build for me. I don't know, maybe I can get Jersey Games to come over and help me finish building this and finishing this all out for me. Who knows if I can get him to do that or not. But yeah, and then down over here we have the berry plantations, and I just like to have the berry plantations as kind of a backup if we don't have enough salads available for the pals here. And also just I like the look of them too, because if you kind of look at it, it makes it feel like it's a little bit of a vineyard in a way. So that's what I really like about the berries there. So we're going to go on to the next one, but like I said, all of these builds are a huge work in progress right now. Still trying to figure out the details and what I'm wanting to do with them, and then still trying to do as much as I can with the limited resources. Even though I'm at level 48, I still have a lot of resources to unlock for these bases. Now this next one is the bamboo base. Oh, I suppose I forgot to do the let me do that real quick. The location of that last base we were at is 177 -8, and this next base is the Bamboo Grove, and that's located at -262 -363. So the focus and the purpose of this base is going to be technically my main base for me as a player. So this is where my player predominantly lives. It's going to be very aesthetically pleasing with some functionality, but not to the purpose of being a huge resource or a huge support for all of my other bases. And it'll also be a Japanese theme. Now I used to have a build here or a house here, but I took it down thinking that I had already unlocked the Japanese structures. Yeah. So I took it down without realizing that I wasn't at the point of the Japanese structures. And eventually this will all have the Japanese themes to them. And yeah, I have such huge plans for this base, and I'm super, super excited about it. It will have this breeding facility up there as well. Just it's going to be more for like hobby breeding. I will eventually have a breeding farm where all it's meant to do is to do industrial breeding. So looking to breed for pals for either skills or to eventually use for leveling up pals, like leveling up the star ratings of pals. So, but this will be more, like I said, of hobby breeding and just kind of relaxed breeding. Let me get these filled real quick. It's always a process to get these done. Double checking we don't have any in here. Nope. So, okay. Seems a little cold. Okay. So yeah, that's the main purpose and functionality of this space. Oh, here we go. So we have some mouse here already making me some moolahs, which is awesome because then I can purchase other resources. Wait, why am I not able to pick those up? Okay, there we go. And that's the other thing, like, I'm pushing to do is try to continuously make my bases very self-efficient. So all I have to do is just come in and tell them to start making salads, kind of thing. So, alright, we're gonna go to the next base. Now I'm kind of showing you these as, shouldn't be a raid, so I'm guessing it's probably a meteor. Yep, it's dropping. And we can't see it. That's okay though. So this is my mushroom base. Again, it's kind of an aesthetic type base. It'll also double as a little bit of a farming base as well. It'll be one of 2 farming bases that I will have, just because of the fact that I'm still wanting to have the aesthetic side of things for these bases. Whereas like if we would switch over to the game I play with my husband, we have a base that is dedicated only for farming. Like there is just nothing but plantations on that base, and it's meant to provide the food support for all of the bases, especially the ones that we don't have anything set up. But this is going to be one of 2 farming bases that I'm planning on having, but with an aesthetic twist to them, so that way they are fun to look at, fun to tour, things of that nature. This over here is supposed to be kind of a temple of sorts. I'm still kind of working on the details of it. There's some things of it that I like. There's other things that I'm like not really enjoying, but the whole purpose of it is to be functional as well as aesthetically pleasing, which is kind of hard to do because I want this to be big enough for medium pals to be able to come and work in here and harvest resources, plant and harvest resources. And so it definitely makes it challenging, because then that means you have to go bigger. That means you have to go taller. That means you have to use up more space that may not necessarily be there in your base. So the first floor of this temple is has all of the plantations, and then the second level has the beds, and then the third level, I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with this third level. There's not a lot of room to work, so I haven't finalized that quite yet. We're gonna go down over here. Oh, sweet. I didn't realize I had quite a few of them going. Let me double check. Oh, it's up there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go tell my Germantide to get to work. So if we go up this direction, this is more of my player's house. And this is probably my favorite house build thus far. So right in here, I took some inspiration off of another content creator on YouTube. I do not remember who it was. I apologize for that. But if you just go into YouTube and type in PalWorld base builds, there's a lot of people that have showed their various bases. Some of them are speed builds of buildings that they've done. Other ones are just base tours. But I found this idea, or I got inspiration for this build from another content creator, and I put my own little twist on it. But right here, when eventually when I eventually want to bring electricity to the space, this will be the platform where I will have the electric generator. And then in here is all of the storage for a lot of the space, mostly like personal storage, so resources that I would necessarily use as a player, not necessarily the resources that my pals would use. And then obviously we have the repair bench, we have the weapons bench. I'll probably put a few more decorative items in here, as well as maybe the high quality workbench as well. So yeah. Out here, it's again supposed to be very aesthetic, kind of giving that orchard, herb garden feel to it. Over here, let me, like I said, fix these assignments real quick. See. Alright, get over there, Yermintide. Make sure he's working. Yeah, get back to work. Why are you going into the thing to do that? Anyway, up here is this little balcony that has just this incredible view. That's the other thing that I forgot to mention is a lot of my bases will have one of two things. It'll either be chosen for the view itself, or it will be chosen because of the resources that are provided at that base. Now, this base in particular, I chose partly for the view, but also for the crude oil locations. I haven't unlocked the ability to harvest oil yet, but this is going to be a base that focuses on harvesting that type of resource. It's one of the few bases that I have set up for that purpose specifically. So now we're going to head inside the house. It's just kind of like a little studio house apartment thing. We have some sitting chairs, a desk, a bed, and then the little makeshift kitchen that I've done right here. A few things that I want to add here and there, but again, just kind of waiting on resources and waiting on unlocking of blueprints and things of that nature. So it's a process, guys. It's a process. And of course, that allows me to have access out to that level. So yeah, again, just incredible views that we have in this game. Like, this game has such amazing graphics. PalWorld is probably the most one of the only games that I do type combat in. I'm not a combat gamer at all. Like, my husband's been trying to get me to play like Call of Duty. Some friends are trying to get me to do Fortnite, and those typically aren't my style of games. Not saying that they're not good games in any way, shape, or form, but they're not typically my style. But PalWorld here is probably the most combat style game that I've ever really played, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the challenge that this game provides sometimes, but I'm not necessarily in it for the combat style of it. It's more of the base building and, you know, connecting with pals. Very similar to Pokemon, I will give it that, in regards to that love and affection for the game. But I also like it because it is very different from Pokemon as well. Pokemon is all about friendship and things of that nature. This is more about survival and coexisting with these creatures. So maybe what Pokemon was before humans discovered that they could actually capture them. So, or in the beginning when they could. So this base was one of my first bases that I established, partly because of the resources that are available here. This is a huge ore base. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet. If this is going to be a base that I keep or if it's going to be one that I get rid of in the end. I still haven't decided. Now, if we were on the game that I share with my husband, this is actually our, not our breeding base, but our, shoot, what base is this? Our cooking base. So a lot of our resources for making cakes for breeding comes to this base. There's also some condensing materials and things of that nature to help, what's the word that I'm looking for? To help, harvest pals and create highly skilled pals. There we go. I think that's the words that I'm looking for. I'll admit I'm a little tired tonight, so my thought process is definitely scattered right now. But like I said, this was one of the first bases that I had. I have no connection to it other than it's got the resources available. The views are okay. I will give it that. But again, it's not something that I would be upset over if I had to take it down and move somewhere else. So I don't know, like I said, what I'm going to do with it at this point. But I'm still leaving it open because I'm still getting a lot of great resources from this base. So, all right. So, oh, by the way, this base is located at 162 negative 395. And I don't think I did this mushroom base over here. And that is negative 508 172. So this next base is probably one of my other favorite bases. This is going to be one of two farming bases. Very aesthetically pleasing. A lot of this is to work with the landscape that is around. Obviously, that we've got some really great views from here. I love the trees for this base. I love the rock formations in the distance, and so I used a lot of that for inspiration for this particular base. The structures, I found inspiration on YouTube, and then of course created or gave them my own personal twist for the functionality that I wanted to do. This is the barn where all of the pals come in to sleep at night. This area here will eventually have more resources for those pals. I haven't really fully decided yet what is going to go in here, but we have the medicine section right here, so that way if they ever get hurt or they get sick, they can come in and get the medicine that they need. Around this side, we have all of the wheat fields that are in production. Eventually, this will help support the cake making for breeding. Because for cakes, you need berries and you need, oh, good, he's working on that. You need berries and wheat, or wheat to turn into flour. The second level has the lettuce plantation, berry plantations, and the tomato plantations. So this was, again, a really fun build for me because of the fact that I found some great inspiration off of another content creator that created a very similar build. The difference between their build and this one is that I made it taller, so that way I could have all the pal beds underneath and them be able to go into there to sleep. That's one of the things that I always like to make sure with my bases is that pals have access to everything, because it seems kind of weird when they just are like laying on the floor sleeping. I want them to be able to access things. I don't want them to get stuck in any way, shape, or form. In here we have the little ranch here where we're getting milk and then coins as well. So let's see what we got. Yep, coins, awesome. Alright, so down over here is the nice little spa area. I'm planning on doing some more decorating. Most of this base is surrounded by defense walls, just because of the fact that I've had several pals like walk into the base. Not that they were trying to raid or anything like that, but it's just like a way to kind of keep them out. But I did want to keep this open for the view. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to sit in this nice sauna and just look out over a view like that? Like, that is just an incredible, incredible view. And the same goes for over here. Like, I just absolutely love the views in this game. So I wanted to provide that for my pals too. Not that they really are concerned about that kind of thing, but you know what? I like to pretend, so... Over here is the player house. Just kind of remodeled this recently. Still have some things that I would like to implement in here, but don't have those unlocked just yet. Right away you walk into the bathroom right here that looks out into that area over there. We have the kitchen off to the right here, or left coming out of the bathroom. Little kitchen, and then over here I'm kind of thinking this is like a research type situation where my viewpoint is the player is using different herbs and resources to create various medicines. Yes, kind of like a witch. So I'm gonna create this little area to be a makeshift like experimental area in a way. Back over here is the bedroom. In here we'll have various clothes. So like I like to try to have one or two of the latest armor that I have, so in case the armor breaks, or I set up, right now I don't have it set up like this, but if I ever decide to challenge myself and set up the game where if I die I lose all of my resources, then I could come back here, get another set of armor, go get my resources and come back. Right now I have it that if I die, everything that's in my bag drops, but my equipment stays on. So like everything that I'm physically wearing, which I'll show you. So like all of this stuff here would remain on me, but everything that's over here technically would get dropped anytime that I would die in game. So yeah, have the bed here. Over here is just this nice little deck just to kind of like walk around. Gonna probably decorate this at some point. We have a little ore mining location as well. And then up here is just kind of like a lookout to see if there's anybody coming to the base that isn't supposed to be coming. Not that it really serves a huge purpose because I have raids turned off, but you know, it's just a fun idea. Also over there, I don't know if you can really see it on the monitor or not, but there's like a line of smoke. There is a Syndicate Thug base camp over there, and so that's another reason why I have these over here, is because sometimes, and you can see off to my left of the screen a little bit, there is a thug just kind of hanging out in the water. Sometimes they wander over here, and so I wanted to have those. There you go, you can see the Syndicate Thugs, there you go. I wanted to have a little bit defense if they decided to come this direction. And then I have another little balcony over here that I need to work on decorating at some point soon. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been working on with this base, and eventually I hope to fill this in a little bit more with decorations and purposeful builds as well. Over here I do have this logging facility, but I do have logging turned off right now because I do not want them to cut down these trees. So whether I turn that on or not, I'm still debating at this point, but we'll see. Alright, so this last space that I'm going to show you guys is located at negative 640 262, and this is probably my favorite base of all. Again, it's for aesthetic purposes, and it's a base that I'm really challenging myself to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible, but also having some basic resource functions. So I just moved things around recently because I was doing some builds, but this is what I would consider my medieval themed build. So it's supposed to be kind of like a medieval village, so to speak. Normally this would not be here, but I did need to move it. I wanted to keep obtaining stone resources as I'm building a stone village. But I put this over here. It was originally on the far end, but I was working on a build over there. So off to the left here, we have the guard room. So those that are on guard duty or not on guard duty would come in here, repair their equipment, take a nap, whatever the case may be. Across the way, we have the generator here, and we have the little cooking area for the salads. Up here we have the agriculture area, and it looks like one of my pals took down the tree that was right there. And I know exactly which pal it did too. I've been having trouble with him. But yeah, this is the plantation location. Still deciding what I'm going to do right here, but I'm kind of thinking this might be a sitting area, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. Back in here is a little house that I'm still in the process of supply drop. But I'm still in the process of decorating. Again, waiting for resources, gathering those so that way I can complete this. The bathroom in here. Also, as I'm showing you guys, if there's anything that you are interested in seeing how I built it, feel free to send me a message and I will be happy to create a tips and tricks building guide. Like, how did I get this shelf unit in here? How did I get the toilet and the tub in here when normally the only way you could get them in here is if you have like a 2-story setup. I would be happy to create some tips and tricks, but let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. Otherwise, if it's something that you're not interested in, then I will use it towards maybe speed builds or some other type of thing that might interest you guys. So let me know. Speed builds, base tours. That's one of the things that I'd love to do too, is do some base tours within PalWorld at some point. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, or if you want to see just tips and tricks, or yeah, whatever you guys would like to see. I'd love to hear from you. Here's another little house that I'm working on as well. We got the bathroom in here. Whoop, got stuck on the wall. And then up here is the overlook area that shoots at enemies that try to break through the door. the alarm bell, so that way I can tell the pals whether or not they're supposed to be working or if they're supposed to be attacking invaders. We got this nice little back walkway, which comes out over here, which is another location that I'll have defense pieces set up for. Well, I did not mean to do that. Originally there was going to be like this back alleyway, but the build that I recently had been doing ended up being a lot larger than I anticipated. So I had to cut that off. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that back area yet. Maybe I might build up instead of building down and create maybe another little like house or hut of some kind. I'm not sure yet. Here is another ranch. I typically like to have a ranch at every single base, so that way I can harvest various resources, whether they are resources for production of other things or I'm needing money, like whichever the case may be. I would put the animals in here. Because this is going to be a medieval base, I'd probably put in the Moozarina in here, as well as maybe some of the chickens. I can't think of what their names are offhand, but some of those animals that you would typically find in a medieval setting. So the cows, the chickens, maybe the bees. So as I said, this is over here my latest build that I've been working on. The purpose of this one is to house all of the pal beds and then have the breeding facility up on top. I'm still working out the details with this one. Still trying to figure this out because it does kind of cut over or get cut off here with the limitations or the boundaries of the base itself. I would move it off to the left here, but there are 2 crude oil resources right here, and I want those still to be available and use those to harvest. But on either side will be rooms dedicated to egg incubators, so that way anything that or any eggs that my pals lay here in this base will then be able to be hatched here, so I don't necessarily need to carry them somewhere else. Here's the breeding farm right here. I did come up with some new ideas for this particular build, so I'm gonna probably revamp this at some point soon. So when I do revamp it, hopefully not too far after that, I will have this base completed and you'll be able to see a finished product. Over here are the spa areas. I am so happy with how these turned out. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, but they were probably one of the first pieces that I worked on when I established this base and just had a blast with it. Super, super fun. But I love how they overlook the waterfall over here and just the stunning view. This is just an absolutely stunning view to me. That right there is supposed to be a small temple. Still trying to figure out how that is going to be set up. Maybe I can try to see if Jersey will come and build that for me. We'll see. But here's the other spa location. Again, beautiful, beautiful view. And then right here is just kind of like I wouldn't say like a makeshift kitchen. It's kind of like a public bar area, but it does have the freezer there that all of the food resources are put into, so that way I can use them to make salads. And then this is going to go eventually, but again, it's designed to continuously have resources available as I continue to create this build. So my big pride and joy of this base is this castle build right here. It is outside of the base for the most part, but I do love how this has turned out so far. I do not have the interior fully decorated at this point because, again, resources. I wish I could show you the finished product of what I have envisioned, but it's a complete work in progress. But I mean, that's kind of the purpose of this video, is to kind of show you what I've been working on and give you a vision of what it is that I hope to accomplish with each of these builds. But this is my medieval castle. Took some inspiration again from another content created. Sadly, I can't remember the names of those that I've pulled inspiration from. But there's, like I said, a lot of people that have created a lot of fabulous builds out there, and I'm sure you'll find inspiration out there for your bases as well. So this is the entrance to the castle. Up here is kind of the kitchen-y area. I'm debating whether or not I want to put a skill fruit tree in here, or just kind of leave it as the kitchen area. I feel like the skill fruit tree would definitely fill in the area a little bit. I just don't know how big those are. I haven't had a chance to build a skill fruit tree yet, so we'll have to see if that works out or not. Over here, we're going to have what is considered like the throne room. So I'll have a kind of like a throne in the distance, and then some tables for like formal dining and things of that nature. Over here we have, I'm gonna make sure I don't have any, since I'm outside the base, I'm very susceptible to being attacked. But this is gonna be kind of like a botanical garden right down here, so it's gonna be filled with a bunch of plants and stuff, just kind of like a greenhouse type setup. Over here is a beautiful view. This is part of the reason why I wanted to build the castle right here. But just look at this view. This is just so stunning. Just absolutely gorgeous. And I love the fact that the waterfalls are, and the river is right there. It's just, oh my goodness. This is probably one of my favorite locations within the game. Over here we have, it's going to be like this makeshift storage area. And then this just kind of goes back into, whoop, no, there we go. This just kind of goes back into the room. I always have to make sure to close these just so that way pals don't run into or just wander into these areas. One of my favorite parts of this as well is this castle wall walk. So just like a medieval castle, they have these walks that are on the walls, so that way guards can keep a lookout and patrol and see what threats are coming to the village, the castle, etc. And so I wanted to make sure this piece was incorporated in this build to overlook this nice little village. I'm loving how this is turning out. I think this is so cool. It's been a process. Like, I don't know how many times I have built this up to tear it down, to build it up and tear it down again. And the fact that I've had this build this particular way for this long is a feat. Like, normally I build something up and I like something for a limited amount of time, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm done. We're gonna redo this kind of thing. And this has been one of my favorite builds for a while, and I really am excited to continue to build and to continue to develop this whole setup. So I'm excited for it and hope to have something officially done soon to do a official tour of the base. So, and that includes having the castle done too. So, down over here is a hidden stairway to this second story balcony that again shows off this incredible view. I do also love the sunrises in this game too. Sunrises and sunsets are absolutely stunning. And then this leads into an overlook of the main throne room, and then also comes out to this side balcony as well. That just kind of showcases this beautiful river and the stunning cherry blossom trees. Boy, if there's ever a group in this game that drive me nuts, it is the Moonflower group. Ugh, drive me crazy. They're very challenging for me right now to beat. So I always try to avoid them as much as possible. Through here will be the main bedroom with the bathroom right here. Oh, hello, buddy. Please don't see me. But yeah, this will be the bedroom that has this just stunning view of the river right there. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the bases. What I can do now is I'll show you what it looks like from above. So let me get to a good place where I can do that. So this is that medieval base. I know it's kind of hard with me being the center focus of the screen here. So I'm trying to maneuver so you can see everything here. I didn't realize there was a green piece there. Whoops. And I'll actually go back to each of my bases too to show you the top view as well. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite base builds right here. Or no, it is one of my favorite base builds. So this next one. Again, just kind of showing you guys the overview. I meant to do that during the initial tours of them. A lot of times I do try to do these builds within the space of the baseline itself. But it is kind of challenging sometimes, especially when you're wanting to do full-on villages and things of that nature, like what I have with the medieval build. But for that build in particular, I'm trying to make sure that the resources that require... Curious to know what this chest needs. Kindling. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's see if I can do it before the Relaxosaurus sees me. Come on, buddy. You know how to do kindling. Come on. Come on. Why aren't we doing it? Okay. Making me not work for it. Or making me work for it only to not do what I asked him to do. Then we have our bamboo grove. Now some of the bases that I'm still wanting to add is that I'm going to have an official mining base. but that requires me to gain access to the new island. I have not explored that island yet, partly because that is a little outside of my level right now. So I'm at level 48. A lot of the pals that are found there are 52 and above. So I'm waiting to go there until I get to at least 55, level 55, if possible. This is Bamboo Grove. We'll go to this one, and we'll end it with my farming one. I'll admit this one doesn't have too bad of views, this base, but it is a little difficult to work with because it's not a lot of flat area. The flat area is mostly the center portion that I'm outlining here, and then this has a nice little high ledge, and then there's all of these rock ledges right here as well. So I mean, you can make it work, but it does get to be a challenge sometimes. So it's never been a base that really inspired ideas for builds for me. And the same thing with this one too. This one's not exactly a flat location either. It's very hilly. And so if you ever build here, you have to pretty much put the foundations down first to then be able to have a flat surface to put like your PAL box if you want to do it that way. You don't necessarily need to put your PAL box on a flat location, but it does make it easier sometimes when it comes to building structures and making things look a little more neat. Excuse me. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, come on, let me off. Let me off. Actually, we'll just do that. Sweet. Again, this next one is my village base. So this is the one that is built within the cliffs. One of the drawbacks to this village, besides trying to build within the cliff, is that there is a boss right over here. So I don't know if you can see him. There he is, the little purple glow. The head fin of my Phalaris is kind of waving over top of him. The nice thing is that he doesn't really move from that location, so I don't have to worry about him coming into my base. But it does stink that he's so close. I actually established this base well before the latest update, so I was here first. And he's trying to take over. But other than that, I do really like the location of this base. If I were to turn on raids, it probably wouldn't get very many raids. The base that we were just at, the Bamboo Grove, and then my mushroom base would definitely be raidable, as well as the marsh base, which will be the last one that I show you. Those ones definitely are raidable. And then here is my last one. So what do I have yet to accomplish? Like what is like my end goal when it comes to my bases? Like I said, every single base is supposed to have a purpose or a function. It's supposed to either be aesthetic or a resource location for me. So like this one is a farming base. I have my resources, my resource bases. I'll have my official like home base kind of thing where I'm going to have a lot of my character support materials, so like my blueprints, schematics, outfits, things of that nature will be housed at my main base. What is going on down there? You are about to get attacked if you're not careful there, buddy. Anyway, so that's going to be in the works. I would also like to have a few other aesthetic type builds that I'm working within the landscapes that I implement them into. I don't want to necessarily give the ideas away just yet, but just kind of know that, all right, I'm picking up berries, I guess, that those types of things are coming. I have a lot of plans for my bases, and I'm super, super, super excited for them, and hope that I'm able to show you guys something fairly soon, as I continue to play PalWorld and level up and get to a point where I have something that I can have people come and tour these bases, or I can do a video to show you guys what I've been working on. But like I said, all of these are work in progresses. A lot of them I have revamped lately, so yeah, just wanted to let you guys know what I've been working on. So I appreciate you guys checking out this video. I hope you found some inspiration. I know, like I said, they aren't completed, but that's okay. That's okay at this point. I wanted to show you guys something that I've been working on within PalWorld instead of just grinding levels. But I'm very, very proud of these builds. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished so far with them. And like I said, I hope you guys find some type of inspiration from what I've shown you here so far. And if not, maybe my finished product will inspire you to do something. Or maybe maybe I might release some grind videos of me, working in PalWorld, doing some work on my bases. Maybe I'll do some speed builds. I'm not 100% sure yet. But there's definitely a lot of opportunities within this game. So that kind of concludes my base tours of PalWorld. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys are clicking that like and subscribe button so that way you can be notified whenever I add new content, and of course to support this video. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tagging along with me wherever you are in this incredible world of ours. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep on being inspirational, and until next time, guys, bye bye.